Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. This is the day 2 video breakdown from the 4-day build. If you guys missed video 1, make sure to go check that out. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into day 2. This is what the boat looked like when we came into the shop in the morning at day 2. We got 90% of the framing done, 90% of the subfloor done. The only area that we really didn't touch was the rear deck in the boat. So that was kind of the first thing that we tackled at the beginning of day 2. You can see the rear of the boat is divided into 3 sections, and our objective is to make one big section, open section. So what we're going to do is measure to the same height at which the subfloor is for the rest of the boat. We're going to cut this sheet of aluminum out of the boat, and we're going to use those existing platforms to create a subfloor frame, just like we did on the interior of the boat. We're keeping this middle section for the channel for all the water to be brought to the rear of the boat to the bilge pump, and we're going to use 2-pound density pour foam on the sides. So we're taking a few measurements. We're cutting our 1.5 inch angle aluminum to mount to the existing sheet of aluminum that's already in the boat to create our subfloor frame. We added a few more pieces of that 1.5 inch angle aluminum, and then we added quad foam to the bottom to seal off these sections from that middle channel. The middle channel needs to be dry. We're going to be putting liquid pour foam into the sides, and we don't want any of that liquid to go into the center channel. Once that was done, we cut and placed in the .090 aluminum sheeting that's going to be used for the subfloor. We ran a few more hoses for plumbing for the live well, and then we were able to permanently attach this sheet of aluminum to the subfloor frame. While all that was going on, we were running some electrical wires from where the electrical panel is going to be to the bow of the boat. And this was also a good time for us to start installing the hydroturf underneath the front deck. This is much easier to do when the deck is not attached. This allows you to get the hydroturf completely stuck to the aluminum with that 3M adhesive backing on it. Mike is also running some wiring for the LED lights that are going to be on the inside of the hatches as well as in the cockpit of the boat. We added the hatches in to make sure everything fit, and then Nate jumped in the boat and started applying the vinyl to the interior cockpit walls of the boat. We also started cutting the .090 aluminum sheeting for the decking. The easiest way to do this is to take a scrap piece of cardboard, make a template of the shape that you're trying to cut, and then transfer that to the sheet of aluminum and rivet everything down to the frame. Key thing about this, because we've gotten a few questions about it, we do not install the deck and then the drop-in lid on top of that, because what that's going to do is give you a little bit of a rise from your drop-in lid. We install the drop-in lid and attach it to the frame of the boat, and then cut the decking around where the drop-in lid's going to be and attach the decking to the framing. Mike also started running some of the wiring for those smaller LED lights through the framing of the boat. You can see we put tape around the openings of the hatch lids, and that is because we don't want any aluminum shavings to get down in there and start scratching the powder coating that's already been done to these lids. It also makes everything a little bit easier to clean up. Then we had to move the boat a little bit closer to the welder so that Nate could get this bow plate welded up and tweaked a little bit. We had to do a little bit of modification to the nose of this in order to make it completely fit and look right. Once that was done, we used the sanding disc in order to clean up the welded areas, and then Mike was able to apply the gator guards to the bow plate of this boat. Once that was all done, it was time for the rod tubes. This took a long time to heat up each tube. I believe we put 7 tubes in this boat. So he's able to hold around 7 rods inside this rod locker. But it does take some time to heat up these tubes enough to get them in, to get them bent, and to get them into the right place. We did have to use some zip ties to kind of keep everything together and give it the right shape that we needed, but it came out really nice. And once all those tubes were installed, we could finally completely close off and finish the decking on the front deck. We did a little bit of cleanup on the boat, and then we tested out the interior LED lights. And this is when we got really excited about this entire build. The lights going on is kind of the first sign that you're going in a good direction. So we were extremely pleased to see those lights kick on. I'd say there was even like a little bit of a hint to where we were like, maybe we'll get done early with this boat. But that didn't end up happening. If you're interested in seeing the entire time lapse from this whole build in one video, please let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, if it helped in any way, please leave a like. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for the day 3 video.